Welcome back to Movie Math, absent for the last few weeks just as audiences have been absent from movie theaters in general. Yes, it's been a horrible year financially for Hollywood, with some suits finally beginning to concede that Americans just don't go to the movies as much as they used to, yet refusing to take any of the blame. And they can continue to live in ignorant bliss as long as the foreign box office continues to deliver at an astounding rate. Die Hard 5 is the #1 grossing movie of 2013 so far, thanks to earning almost 75% of its box office overseas. And Hansel and Gretel is #2, sporting pretty much the same ratio. But this weekend, it seems that Americans did go to the movies, or more accurately, they returned to Oz. Oz the Great and Powerful scored not only the biggest domestic opening of the year, but the third biggest for the month of March ever, coming in behind The Hunger Games and its doppelganger Alice in Wonderland. That's right, Joe Roth is no con man as he delivered for Disney as promised, and the Mouse House is salivating. Not only are they fast-tracking plans for a sequel, but also hinting at a major merchandising push, as well as a potential ride at their theme parks. But even more so, last week I asked if Disney would be able to dominate live-action fairy tales as they do animated ones, and it appears the answer is yes. Their Alice sequel is still moving forward, plus Roth has his Alice and Oz production designer Robert Stromberg currently in post-production with his directorial debut Maleficent. And as I also mentioned last week, Disney is also aggressively pursuing a reimagining of Cinderella, with Emma Watson potentially playing the popular princess. Looks like Guillermo del Toro's Beauty and the Beast reimagining, which was supposed to also star Watson, fell apart. Speaking of actors, this is phenomenal news for James Franco, who has never starred in a big blockbuster. Word is that when Robert Downey Jr. and Johnny Depp turned down Oz, Disney was in such a pinch to land a lead that Franco was able to land a $7 million deal. And now he joins Downey Jr. and Depp to complete Disney's trio of stars nobody ever thought to associate with Disney, but now seem integral to the studio's success. Behind the camera, Sam Raimi can also feel good about rebounding after his riff with Sony over Spider-Man, yet he has said he won't direct the Oz sequel. But didn't Joss Whedon say he wouldn't direct the Avengers 2? But you know who this weekend wasn't a win for? 3D, as 46% of Americans opted to see Oz in 2D, and Oz has great 3D. Although I agree with the BTT commenter that in the trailer for Star Trek Into Darkness that plays before Oz, their post-conversion 3D looks like shit. Elsewhere in the box office, it looked like the Wicked Witch's flying baboons had laid waste to it. Jack the Giant Slayer indeed tumbled from the top of the box office beanstalk, plummeting over 60% from its opening weekend. Although I was shocked to discover that my local IMAX theater didn't switch out Jack for Oz, meaning that as more and more movies go for top-notch visuals, there currently aren't enough IMAX theaters to go around. Then the rest of the top 10 failed to break the double digits, with Dead Man Down debuting with just around 5 million. Colin Farrell strikes again. The only real winners out there right now besides Oz are Identity Thief and Silver Linings Playbook, two flicks that feature strong female leads, a nice counterbalance to Oz, who some are accusing of being sexist. But regardless, Oz is set to win this coming weekend as well, with the incredible Burt Wonderstone and The Call both hitting theaters. Plus, if you live in New York or LA and want a trippy double feature, check out Oz and then Spring Breakers. And that's the weekend box office. I'm Grace Randolph, and we just did some movie math. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll go beyond the trailer for these other top movies.